Galnet News Digest, 21st of April 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Hudson is losing his job. Seo Jin-Ae may have discovered Raxxla. And Salvation may be a Dalek. And we talk ship kits, and annoying the Thargoids into going away and not coming back.
President Zachary Hudson has accepted that he will not take part in the 3309 presidential election and that his time in office is coming to an end. The President addressed Congress after they voted by a narrow majority to turn down Hudson's bid to set aside the 77th Amendment of the Federal Accord, a decision that will bar Hudson from seeking re-election at the end of his 8-year term in June. He said he accepted the outcome of the Democratic vote, but made it clear that he intends to remain a power within federal space after he steps down from the presidency. He expressed his concern that a transfer of power to a new administration might impact on the prosecution of the war against the Thargoid invasion and on the rest of the Republican Party's security agenda. But he stated with conviction that it would be the Republican Party that would lead the Federation to victory, and pledged to support the Republican candidate at the election, whoever that might be. There has been a flurry of activity to line up a replacement Republican candidate for the presidency. Several members of Hudson's cabinet have previously expressed an interest in standing, including Jerome Archer, who replaced Brad Mitchell as vice president in 3307. Secretary of State Lana Berkovich, who did so much to try to enable Hudson to stand for re-election again. And the rather unlikely lawyer, Grand Attorney Edwin Espinoza. Outsider Thandika Kwabe is also expected to put her name forward, but has no chance of being selected. By comparison, the Liberal Party is well organised, with Felicia Winters and Isolde Rochester already selected as the presidential and vice presidential candidates. Winters has the considerable advantage of being the only candidate that is a recognised power within federal space, something that makes her far more likely to be elected than any of the faceless prospective Republican candidates. The only other candidate of note is trillionaire, piratical playboy, corporate leader, benefactor of Colonia and winner of the Federal Grand Lottery, Zachary Rackham, who is running on a low-tax, high-expenditure ticket that promises that all federal citizens can become rich, just like Rackham. In the unlikely event that he wins, the Federation is expected to become insolvent within weeks. The election will be held in June, on a date to be determined by the federal election manager, Benjamin Hennessy.
There is no further word about the whereabouts of Azimuth's former test subject, Seo Jin-Ae. On Thursday, Admiral Aidan Tanner of Aegis put out a call for assistance in tracking down the former D2, who's believed to be on a mission to get even with the former head of Azimuth, Dr. Caleb Wycherley, also known as the Witch, and a Salvation. A mission that's all the more mysterious because Salvation has been confirmed dead. From information picked up along the trail, it appears that Seo believes that Salvation is not in fact dead, despite having left his body, and that his consciousness has been uploaded into a databank that allows him to live on as a non-corporeal intelligence. Unlike Pranav Antal's SIM archive, Seo believes that Salvation's Nemesis device is powered by some of the Guardian technology that Azimuth amassed over the years. Seo has not yet been located, but the wreckage of several ships have been found in the Ankar system, with a cryptic fragment that appears to be asking, "What the expletive is that?" We have to assume that whatever that was, it created quite an impression on one of the pilots in the last few seconds of consciousness. Aegis insists that it's still searching for the missing Seo, while Azimuth has called for her to be captured and sent to one of their research laboratories for her own safety. Which doesn't sound like they know where she is either. The dead end to Seo's trail leaves plenty of room for speculation, especially when there are also rumours that Salvation might not be entirely dead. It's possible that Seo is still on the run, or that she's been captured, or that she's finally mind-melded with the Thargoid battle fleet. There are those who believe that Seo has been sighted aboard the Scrivener clan dredger, or that she's found Raxxla. There are even some misguided souls who believe she's helping Zorgan Peterson to develop the Panther Clipper. As for Salvation, if he's not part of the Guardian Construct Network, and if his disembodied head isn't commanding operations from a shelf in Azimuth HQ, then perhaps he's living on the planet Skaro, among the hospitable Khaled people, in a custom wheelchair designed by his best friend and fellow scientist, Davros. There's a terrible idea circulating that should Azimuth ever get hold of her, Salvation may try to download his consciousness into Seo's body, regenerating in a Whovian sort of way. Access to Seo's Thargoid interface brain implant might allow him to read the minds of his enemy and lead them into final and all-consuming oblivion. But it's more fun to think that he's just a Dalek.
Following the discovery that ship kits dramatically increase caustic damage suffered in Thargoid environments, the Pilots Federation has announced a sale of such ship kits. And in a way, they're a status symbol. Anyone brave enough to enter a maelstrom wearing a cursed ship kit of triple damage has to be showing off a bit. Look, they're saying, I am so good a pilot that I can afford to work at this tremendous disadvantage and still get more kills and tissue samples than lesser pilots. In related news, and following Aegis's imprecation to concentrate on stopping the Thargoids from invading alert systems, rather than having fun fighting them in systems they've already invaded, Commander LCU No Fool Like One has confirmed what many have suspected, that it's far easier to find Orthrus interceptors if you're part of a team. Threat 4 NHSSers seem to appear far more regularly if there are several commanders hunting together. There is also a belief that just killing the Orthrus may not necessarily be the best way to save a system from invasion. Hutton trucker Alex Zuno has been experimenting collecting tissue samples and turning them in at rescue ships. Apparently, the Thargoids dislike research probes so much that they decide not to invade after all. Science may, after all, be the answer.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.